As I travel across Indonesia, I'm witnessing an incredible struggle for Islam here. The country has always been tolerant, but in just 10 years, some Indonesians have started demanding a much stricter adherence to their faith. For 32 years, the strongman Suharto ruled the country. His iron-fisted secular policies forced many Islamic groups to operate underground. When the Asian financial crisis of '97 devastated Indonesia, mass student uprisings and violence in the streets forced him to resign. The fall of the Suharto regime brought economic chaos, massive social upheaval, and as Indonesia remade itself, political Islam found a willing audience. But how well can a stricter form of Islam interact with the traditional mixture of beliefs that has always existed in Indonesia?
You certainly did have a country where about 250 or more ethnic groups and several major world religions lived in relative harmony, and all of those religions generally were dominated by moderate voices. But we're seeing some nonviolent extremist organizations figuring out how to use civil society techniques that every democracy allows to influence and pressure the government to make changes that it might not otherwise make.
To make it more Islamic.
To make it more Islamic.
It's what everyone keeps telling me, that democracy and Islam coexisting together will prevent the radicals from taking over. And it seems to be working. Islam is in resurgence, but it has a distinctly Indonesian flavor. I am on my way to a recording studio to meet one of the most famous bands in Indonesia. Gigi is cool, modern, young, and Islamic, all of which they use to woo fans. Doing it all without compromise has been easy for drummer Gusti Handi and singer Arman Maulana. You don't try to hide the fact that, you are from a Muslim country and most of your listeners are Muslims. That is part of the way you play your music as well.
Yeah, of course.
How? Tell me how you try to combine this.
Saya kira di Indonesia antara religion Islam dan musik dan culture budaya tidak ada yang saling bentrok crash. Karena music is art gitu. Musik adalah seni gitu. Islam adalah agama, religion. Jadi tidak di sini tidak ada dilarang.
What kind of people come to your concerts? I mean, is it girls in jilbabs, punk rockers?
Penonton crowd is good. Many people and jilbab, semuanya.
Do you not get imams and religious leaders saying, this is very bad, the way you're combining, heavy rock music with Islam?
Justru kita juga sedikit surprise ya. Ternyata para imam, para ulama di Indonesia memberikan dukungan, support kepada kita karena musik Gigi yang menggarap sebuah album religi itu justru membuka alternatif baru di musik religi, terutama buat generasi muda. Bahkan kita mendapat award from MUI, Majelis Ulama Indonesia, bahwa kita salah satu grup band yang syiar terbaik, the best syiar in Indonesia dalam musik religi gitu.
Gigi's songs about Islam's role in society inspire a sense of religious pride, and with that comes a desire to help those in this massive country that the government can't. Grassroots-level social welfare is taking up the slack. In the past decade, drug abuse has hit Indonesia hard. In a country where public appearances are important, there is a huge stigma attached to drug addiction. Families of addicts are often ashamed to seek government help, abandoning them at private rehabilitation centres like this.
In the last 10 years in Indonesia, you've had democratization, but you also had rapid economic development, and with that has come growing social and economic disparities. And this centre, which is about an hour's drive outside of the capital, Jakarta, is a place that helps treat people with drug dependency, something that Indonesians traditionally associated with Western society. But this centre is also an example of how Islam is trying to make a difference and help in areas that the government can't.
Attendance is voluntary, though many patients are chained together to stop them from running away. The majority of the men here are addicted to strong methamphetamines. Ahmed, the son of the centre's founder, today oversees 30 patients at any one time, using both physical and religious treatments.
So he's just explaining the kind of treatment that the patients are given. Obviously involves a lot of prayers and saying of asking for forgiveness from God. And then when they arrive, they're also given ginger in their eyes, rubbed into their eyes and in their nose as well, which is there to sort of give their body a jolt or a shock. And then after?
And after drink salt.
They drink hot, salty water, and then that's meant to sort of get the toxins out of there when they vomit. And then after that, the hair is cut, shaved. After their sort of hair is shaved off, the addicts have cold water poured on them because the patients are scared of water, and it's there to sort of, I suppose, part of the treatments to give them yet another shock to sort of get rid of the toxins and the drugs.
Shock therapies are combined with other treatments, like this nutmeg-based drink. It's given to the men every day to help with the pain of their withdrawal from drugs.
Wow, you can really smell it as soon as you take the lid off. It's fine, it doesn't taste disgusting. Obviously, there's a strong nutmeg taste from all the nutmeg that went into it. And this drink is given to addicts in order to help them sleep and to calm them down. Obviously, they're still wired from all the drugs that they're addicted to, and this just helps calm them down so they can get some sleep and they're not sort of plagued by insomnia. What approach, what philosophy do you have behind your work here?
Metode saya ya ibadah, terutama ibadah. Jadi mereka ini kan karena jiwanya itu jauh daripada sentuhan rohani, spiritual, jadi kita bawa ibadah. Nah itu dengan ibadah itu mereka di samping mengobatin dirinya juga bermanfaat buat lingkungan. Insya Allah dengan beribadah itu Allah akan tolong dia dan dia jadi orang yang bermanfaat.
Why does Islam help you to cure these young men from their addiction? Why do you think this is?
Al-Quran itu kalau dulu bahasanya itu istilahnya itu semacam mantra. Semacam mantra. Jadi itu tanda kasihnya Allah, tanda kasihnya Tuhan kepada hambanya, kita dikirim surat Al-Quran ini. Nah itu jadi obat dan rahmat buat mental spiritualnya dia.
These are people who have been rejected not only by their families, but also by society. And what really strikes you is the role that Islam is playing and helping to play in the lives of men who have otherwise been abandoned by just about everybody.
I've seen all kinds of Islamic identity over the last few weeks. Liberal preachers, Islamic rock bands, homemade drug clinics. This surge in pride and growing sense of identity has made Islam itself the key weapon for Indonesians to deal with 21st century problems and to participate in shaping their political structures. The next men I meet belong to one of Indonesia's most powerful political and religious forces. With an estimated 30 million members, the Nahdlatul Ulama, or NU, has been a major force in Indonesia for more than 80 years. In the 1960s, they were the shock troops for Suharto's purge of communists, and in the late 90s, a former NU leader was elected president. They also act as a charity, helping to fund schools and hospitals and running local communities. They promote themselves as guardians of their faith, willing to assist when needed. Everyone here has volunteered to go to Palestine to help Indonesian charities there. I've been invited to watch their self-defense training today. NU members believe they derive a special force from God, giving them superhuman strength. This power is crucial to the NU's defense, says regional member Halim Iskandar.
Why is the self-defense training an important part of the philosophy of NU?
Pemberian tenaga dalam ini penting bagi pengamanan karena kita sebagai sebuah organisasi sosial politik harus memiliki safety untuk kegiatan-kegiatan kita, safety untuk organisasi kita. Pada setiap kegiatan, event apapun, sebagai sebuah partai politik tentu banyak resiko yang akan muncul.
It's election year in Indonesia. 38 political parties are competing across the country. A local rally demonstrates Indonesia's democracy in action.
Okay, so you're going to give them a tour? They've come from the village? Hello. Okay.
Zubaidi Mukhtar is a local politician.
Sehingga tidak ada problem apa-apa, tidak ada perbedaan apa-apa antara Islam dengan politik, dengan demokrasi. Karena pada prinsipnya bahwa Islam adalah ruh ya, yang memberikan arah di dalam proses perjalanan demokrasi. Sehingga dengan demikian bahwa elemen-elemen atau kelembagaan demokrasi itu pada prinsipnya adalah menjalankan substansi Islam.
But do you think more and more young Indonesians in particular are being drawn towards this radical interpretation of Islam, towards jihadism?
Itu problemnya sebenarnya pemahaman Islam terhadap Islam Ahlu Sunnah wal Jamaah atau tradisi keagamaan yang ada di dalam lingkup Nahdlatul Ulama tidak dipahami secara substantif oleh generasi muda, oleh kelompok-kelompok muda hari ini. Gitu. Oleh karena itu problemnya sebenarnya bukan problem nilai, tapi problem pemahaman mereka, orang-orang muda terhadap Islam, Ahlu Sunnah wal Jamaah.
It's a common refrain, misinterpretations of Islam. But what about the men who killed over 200 in Bali? What drove them to use such violence against the innocent? And is their thinking still shared by others today?